Good afternoon. Great to see everybody. This is Alex Raymond. I'm the host of the Conscious Entrepreneur Summit, and we're going to spend just a short time, just maybe 15 minutes or so, sharing a little bit of information about the event and seeing if it's the right fit for you. And my purpose today is to give you a bit of a behind the scenes and share why we do things the way we do and the decision process behind the way that we set up the event and the incredible people that we have coming. You're really going to be blown away by the quality of the event and the types of people who we are going to be attracting to it. So I'm excited you're here. Thanks for joining. And I'll just share real quick before we start. This is the fourth year we've done the Conscious Entrepreneur Summit. So we have a lot of experience under our belts at doing this. We attract really incredible crowds every year, and the stories of transformation are super, super fascinating. It's really cool to hear what happens to people once they have been at the summit and what they get out of it. For the purposes of today, I don't really have slides. I just thought I'd walk a little bit through the website. I hope you don't mind. I hope that works for you. The idea being pretty much everything is there. We did just share some new speakers and some new content that's going to be appearing. So I'm just going to hop in and share the website here so that we can walk through this together and see all what's going on. So just to kick off, like logistically, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a really fascinating, super, super interesting event. 2 days, May 28th and 29th, taking place in Boulder, Colorado. And this is really meant to be for ambitious entrepreneurs, people who want to get out of their own way, who want to get the true they want to really make a dent in the universe, so to speak. They want to get out there, have their business reach their full potential, but find themselves, for one reason or another, kind of stuck, being held back, somehow not getting to their full potential and getting to everything that they want. So that's what we are addressing at the Conscious Entrepreneur Summit. In many ways, I joke about this, but in many ways, what we're doing here is we're creating the summit that I wish I had had, the community I wish I had had when I was building my businesses 10 plus years ago. So this is meant to be highly supportive community, really awesome people, everybody focused on their own growth because we all know and we all agree that growth starts within us. Growth starts on the inside, not on the outside. That's what this entire thing is all about. I also want to recognize that it's really difficult to be an entrepreneur. We've got ideas, inspiration, we've got things that we want to go do out there, and it can be super lonely, very stressful, very difficult to really have the impact that you're looking for. And a lot of us entrepreneurs, we think we're the only ones out there who think like that. We think that everybody else is farther along, has a better product, a bigger team, has raised more money, has more revenue. We all think that everyone else is doing better than we are. It turns out everybody thinks that way. Everybody has the same sense of, oh, I'm not as far along as I wish I could be. And we all have these essentially nagging thoughts or inner critics that appear all the time. And all those sorts of things do is slow us down. So we're here to change that, to change the conversation through the community and the event that is Conscious Entrepreneur. And if there's one mantra that we have within this community, it's that growth starts within. And what I mean by that is the ticket to growing your business in an exponential way, in a 10x way, isn't because you've got a great it's not only about the product or the market or your customers or your team. It's about who you are as a person. It's about recognizing that me as the CEO and as the founder and as the entrepreneur, I am the ultimate bottleneck to my company. And the company will only grow as fast and it will only get as big as I let it, basically, as I am comfortable doing. And so there's a big theme this year on growth. We all say growth starts within. And the main idea this year is exponential growth. What I mean by that is 10x growth. You probably saw one of our speakers this year is Ben Hardy. He is the guy who wrote the book 10x is easier than 2x. And the whole point of his talk and what we're going to get into with him is what's the psychology that's needed? What changes do I need to make in my mindset and how I think about things in order to get the growth that I really say that I want in the business? So that's something that we're going to keep coming to over and over and over in not only this discussion, but also at the summit if you wind up joining us in Boulder on May 28th and 29th. So let me share a couple of things about how this works. And I do want to provide some detail on the speakers and on the content that's going to be available to you on at the event itself. Um, the first thing is this. Ben Hardy is he's an organizational psychologist. He wrote this really fascinating book called 10x is easier than 2x. He is someone who's really into how companies can grow big and quickly. And he knows that a lot of this comes down to our psychology as entrepreneurs and as individuals. So when I first read his book, I thought, well, first, when I first heard of his book, I thought, oh, that's kind of a cheesy title. I don't know if I want to read that book. And then I read it and I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I read it a second time and I was like, whoo, our community needs to hear about this. We need to hear about what is the difference between incremental growth and exponential growth. And what do I need to do in order to make sure that I'm setting myself up on the right trajectory? So I reached out to Ben. We arranged for him to come to Boulder for these sessions. And the really cool thing is it's very special. I want to make sure that you understand this. He's doing two sessions with us. On May 28th, which is the Wednesday, he's doing a 3 hour deep dive session on the mindset of 10x growth. So this is the opportunity to learn from the guy who wrote the book and a whole bunch of peers and a whole bunch of really cool, interesting entrepreneurs around you to roll up your sleeves and really understand what it takes to unlock the potential of your business. So that day itself is going to be more like a workshop format. It's limited to 60 people, and because we want to keep it smaller and intimate and allow him to really work in depth with people. And so it's going to be smaller, more like a workshop type of feel. But you have access to someone who's really smart on the topic of scaling businesses, and you're going to be surrounded with a community of really awesome entrepreneurs as well. And so that is what we think of, and how I talk about this is like day one. So day one is May 28th. It's this smaller format thing, and you can see details here. Go to the website. You can follow along if you want, or you can watch on my screen. Go to the 10x page, and when you go to the 10x page, you'll see all the things that we're going to be talking about with him, who this is for, how we're going to do this. But then what I want to show you is what does the day look like? So what this day looks like is we're actually doing the morning session outdoors at the Sunrise Amphitheater, which is right above Boulder. And it's this incredible place, a super great spot for us to all get together and as a group go through the process to understand, where am I today? What am I thinking about my business? Why did I get started in the first place? Where am I holding back? Where am I thinking small? Where am I not allowing myself to push myself or to have the accountability or the focus to really turn my business into something big? So this is going to be an interactive exercise. It's going to be an opportunity to chat with fellow peers and other entrepreneurs and see what they're doing, and also to look inside yourself and discover what is the potential of my business and how do I actually get it there. So the first session in the morning is going to be outdoors. Then around lunchtime, we're all going to pack up and go down the hill to the University of Colorado for the afternoon session with Ben Hardy. So this is going to be starting at 1:30. So this afternoon, we're going to get into his entire process for 10x psychology and the 10x mindset. It's going to be based on his book, but he's also bringing in a whole bunch of new information from a brand new book he's got coming out, which is called The Science of Scaling. So The Science of Scaling comes out in July. And important, he's actually going to be giving away free copies of the book, galley copies, before the thing is even on sale to people who are attending this session. So we're going to have a real deep dive, plus brand new information, brand new knowledge on how to do that. Once we wrap up the workshop with Ben Hardy, then we're all going to go bowling. Yes, we like to have fun at the Conscious Entrepreneur Summit. So we're going to go downstairs within the University of Colorado UMC building. There's a bowling alley down there. And this is a chance to unwind and have fun and reflect on the day and practice your bowling skills. So we do things a little bit differently. As you see, we're going to have sessions outside. We're going to have bowling. This is definitely not one of these just like sit in a conference room all day type of summit. So that's May 28th. If you are interested in coming to May 28th, I would really suggest that you get your ticket now. Last time I checked, we were at 53 tickets sold for this event. We're trying to limit it to 60 people, which means there's 7 spots to go. So if this is something that you care about, then please go ahead and get your ticket today for this 10x Growth Summit. Let me give you now a bit of a preview on what else is going to be happening. This is a 2 day, it is a 2 day event. And we do have, well, actually, first, before I get too much into that, I do want to share this part of the website, not like other events. Um, One of the founding principles at Conscious Entrepreneur is that as you're starting a business, there's schools for everything. There's places to go and learn how to build a product, how to build a sales team, how to do marketing, how to do fundraising. There's all sorts of resources for people to go out and learn, really great ones. There are no schools, there's nowhere to go to learn the inner work of how to be a great CEO and entrepreneur. There's nowhere to go to learn how do I start to feel okay inside? How do I let go of some of the fear and anxiety or the comparison and imposter syndrome? Or how do I make sure I don't burn out along the journey? And that's what we focus on and that's what we talk about. So you're not going to hear sessions on fundraising and on metrics and ratios and on AI and on how to manage your cap table or anything like that. What you're going to hear instead are stories from entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, consultants, thinkers on how to reach your full potential, how to get out of your own way, how to shift your mindset about what you're thinking about business, how to build resilience for the marathon that is being an entrepreneur. Those are the kinds of things that we talk about. If these things appeal to you, then that's a really good signal that the conscious entrepreneur is part of your tribe. If, on the other hand, you look at this and you're like, I don't know, I don't like the sign of any of that, then this is probably best for you not to attend. And I give you permission to go ahead and drop off the webinar right now. But that's really what we do. And so there is a very strong distinction. There's a point of view to conscious entrepreneur, and we attract people who want to focus on themselves and know that they are the roadblocks to their business. They are the potential of their business as well. So on day two, which is May 29th, it's going to be more of a standard conference format. Again, we're going to be at the University of Colorado in this beautiful ballroom, and there's going to be about 200 people there sitting at tables. So it's like 6-person tables and learning from incredible speakers. So let me share with you some of those speakers and what that day is going to look like. First, Ben Hardy is coming back on day two. So Ben Hardy is coming back on day two to give a 1-hour keynote on the science of scaling. This is really cool. This is his preferred format. This way we do the workshop on the 28th and everybody gets really excited and creative and sees a ton of potential. But maybe we don't understand every single concept he talks about. We can then sort of close the loop or tie the bow tie on May 29th. So he's going to come back and share the science of scaling. That's going to be that talk on the 29th. Really great way for us to integrate everything that we've learned from him on day one. And if you're only coming to May 29th, that's totally fine as well. This is just a great set of insights into how he thinks about things. So Ben Hardy is going to be the main speaker. He's going to come on around 11 o'clock, so right before lunch on the 29th. Another speaker I'm super excited about is Michael Freeman. He is basically the world's foremost expert on entrepreneurial psychology and mental health for entrepreneurs. He wrote a very famous paper a while ago called Are Entrepreneurs Touched with Fire? And this is a really great look into the psychology of an entrepreneur. It turns out, I don't think this is going to surprise anybody, but it turns out we're different than others. We have higher ranks on creativity and risk-taking and tenacity and resilience. And at the same time, we have higher markers for anxiety and depression. So we entrepreneurs are a very interesting mix. He's going to share some of his research and what he's learned by working with entrepreneurs over the years. And the title of his talk is How Entrepreneurship is an Opportunity for 10x Personal Growth. So Ben Hardy is going to be talking about 10xing your business. Michael Freeman is going to be talking about 10xing your personal growth. Both of these guys, by the way, have been on the Conscious Entrepreneur podcast. If you haven't listened to that, check it out. It's a great way to get more familiarity with their work and the vocabulary they use and how we think about stuff like that. So really excited about Michael Freeman as well. Then just announced Brad Feld, one of the best known venture capitalists in the world, an entrepreneur, someone who has backed some of the world's most iconic companies. He is going to be our special guest on May 29th. And this is really cool because he's probably like in the top three of most requested speakers we've ever gotten. Every year we send out a little feedback, like who else would you like to see at Conscious Entrepreneur? And everyone always said Brad Feld. And this year it worked out for him to join us. So he is someone who has been a real champion and advocate for entrepreneurial mental health over the last decade or more. He's been very open about his own journeys and someone we can all learn from because he has hit all of the external marks of extreme success and at the same time is very open and curious and willing to talk about his journey and his struggles. So I think everyone's going to love that. It's going to blow everybody away. He is going to come on in the early afternoon on the 29th. So that's a really big name. It's something I'm super excited about. It all came together in the last 72 hours. So that's even cooler. And for everyone who buys a ticket to the conference before April 30th, we are giving out a free copy of Brad's new book, which is called Give First. So that's another incentive to buy your ticket in the next 6 days is you'll get a free copy of Brad's new book that doesn't even get published until June. So really cool thing there and super excited to have Brad join us. Another speaker that I'm really excited about that was also only organized in the last week or so is Rachel Romer. Now, Rachel is the former CEO of Guild Education, a very well-known company here in Colorado that is valued at over $4 billion. And she built this really fantastic organization, raised a bunch of money, and is building very exciting things in her space. And a couple of years ago, she suffered a stroke, which meant that she immediately had to stop work, start focusing on her health. She was debilitated, unable to work. They had to transition the CEO within Guild to someone else, and she is now in a place where she's able to recover and come to talk about her story and her journey as an entrepreneur. So just imagine, you're at the peak of your career, you're doing all this stuff, you've raised money, you've got this incredible company, and then you have a major health event in your life that requires you to leave your company. Maybe you probably think that your life is at risk. So we're going to learn a tremendous story from Rachel. It's going to be super interesting to hear. She's a very formidable entrepreneur in her own right. Now fighting a different set of battles in her recovery and making sure that she's able to set herself up for her longer term health success and benefit. She's going to be interviewed by Terrence Cummings, who used to work for her at Guild. He used to be the chief opportunity officer. So this is going to be a really great conversation between the two of them around what it was like when Rachel had her stroke and had to leave the company, what it was like inside, what it was like for Rachel, all this stuff. So this is going to be an incredible conversation, and I can't wait for that one. That's going to be in the afternoon of the 29th. Other speakers is going to be Jim Dieters. He is the founder of Gravity House, CEO of Gravity House, which is a very cool company that does co-working, outdoor stuff, hotels, restaurants, and they've got properties all over the U.S. West, and just really cool company. They are. I've been a member of Gravity House for years, so I'm excited to get to chat with him. It's growing very quickly. Really fantastic company. Jim, if his name is familiar to you, he's been in the Colorado scene for a while. He is the former CEO of Galvanize as well, which is a co-working space. So looking forward to learning from him. He's like the definition of a 10x entrepreneur. In the morning on the 29th, we're going to hear from Beck and Marina. They're going to do a session on nervous system regulation. So basically how to get our bodies and our nervous systems ready for 10x growth. One of the major things that we all do is we don't open up our bodies, we don't open up our nervous systems, we don't prep our brains and our hearts and our bodies for growth and success. We find ourselves tense and sort of shrugged in, and maybe we have, like the energy isn't flowing. They are going to walk us through how to reset for this and get ourselves ready for the trajectory of 10x growth. So that's going to be a really great session in the morning. And then we have two sisters, so two of three. There's triplets who founded a company called Shine, which you may have heard of if you live in Boulder several years ago. Two of those three, Jill and Jessica Emmich, are going to come and lead us in some movement to help us to reset a little bit, but they're also going to share their story of building Shine, the restaurant, and the community, and that's going to be super inspiring for us as well. Then on the 28th, just to give you a little bit of more context, I shared that we're doing this morning session outdoors. That's going to be co-facilitated by two friends of mine, Christina Poindexter and Rhett Taylor, who are really super people and great facilitators and people you're going to really enjoy connecting with. So that's the sequence of speakers for the event. I hope it gives you a sense of what we're doing and why we're doing it. I think it's so important for us to have open stories from entrepreneurs so we can learn exactly what was going on, exactly what happened with them. By the way, pop questions as you have them in the chat or in the Q&A. I'm happy to address those. But the main point here today was give you a sense of what all this looked like. If you want to learn more, I really recommend go to the testimonials page on the Conscious Entrepreneur website. You're going to see what everybody had to say in the past. You can see the highlight reels from our previous events. I don't know, there's something like 20 different testimonials that we've got right here. We also have the previous year's talks. So if you want to see literally what did it look like, where it's in the same space as it was last year and the year before, you can see all the different talks from incredible speakers over the last year or two. So that's all right there. If you have questions, pop them in the chat. I think anything else, I don't think I had anything else that I wanted to particularly chat with you about, other than maybe to say that there are a number of other events in the run-up to the summit. We've got an event in Denver next week. It's kind of on sales and marketing for conscious entrepreneurs. And then on May 8th in Boulder, we're running a session on coaching because we have a number of coaches within this community. And I would highly recommend that you check those out as a way just to plug in more to our community. So with that, I will leave you. Thanks so much for joining. Just real quickly on the ticket prices so that you are aware, early bird goes until April 30th. So we got 6 days for early bird. Early bird is $4.99 for day one, $4.99 for day two, or $8.99 for both. General admission is $5.99 for day one, $5.99 for day two, or $9.99 for both. So if you're thinking about joining, now would be a great time because you'll save money. Plus, you'll get a copy of Brad Feld's new book there as well. Any other questions, feedback, or comments, pop them in the chat. I'm going to stop the share and hang out for another minute or two to see how everybody's doing. Hope you can make it. By the way, give me a thumbs up if you think you're coming. Jenna, glad to see that you're going to be able to make it. Really like to see you there. This is such a tremendous community. It's full of warm people. Everybody is supportive of one another. Everyone wants to see you succeed, and you're going to walk away with so much inspiration and a real roadmap for 10xing yourself and your business. So thanks so much for being here, everybody, and look forward to seeing you May 28th and 29th at the Conscious Entrepreneur Summit. Thanks so much.